So map reading is pretty useful just to know um, whether it be you just want to know where to go when you're doing a public run, or you find a sentry in the halls or something, or if you're trying to RL somewhere, or if you're just rushing. It's always good to know. So this video is sort of aimed to get just information out there, uh, and I'll work on some examples here and there. But let me open this real quick just to have that on standby. If it'll load. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so here's some general information just to get out there. Your main path being here's spawn and MBD, main path being what's like to get there. Your main path consists of 9 rooms in total. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And so this number is heavily debated, but it shouldn't be because it is always going to be 9. Because some people are like, oh, it's 10 if you count MBD or spawn, or if it's like 11 if you count spawn and MBD. It's like, just say 9, right? This is your main path. Your loops will count as here, let me get a map with the loop. Right. No. Here. Okay, so here, this loop, right? So loops are this 2x2 area that have hallways connecting each room. This is spawn MBD, and I'll highlight everything. I'll say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you have this loop. And so, following the logic of the last statement I said, which is loop or main path is always 9 rooms, and the fact that there are 8 rooms outside of this loop already means that loops will count as 1 room in terms of its generation. So I'll get another map here. If you ever want this website, I'll put it in the description. But spawn MBD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 MBD. So loops will just count as 1 room. So we have a loop here where we actually have to go through 3 of the rooms to get from the start and finish of the loop, but it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you have MBD from spawn. So that's sort of how your main path will generate in terms of like literally what it is. And so with that, let me highlight main path here just to main path plus MBD and spawn. So your splits, right, the pot splits or T room, they only come off of main path. Right, so let me unhighlight it. So I'll highlight the room before each split and the split, the first room of the split. So you have your splits, they all come off of main path, right? There's no like split off of the split. It's all off of main path. So you have to keep that in mind while looking at this. And so you sort of have like your 1 to 2 rooms before, actually let me unhighlight all of this. 1 to 2 rooms before each pod, right? So let me highlight each pod instead. So here's 1 room, T room, 2 rooms, pot, 2 rooms, pot, 2 rooms, pot, 1 room, pot, and then your 1 room into your last pot here. If I do a different map, right? Here spawn, right? 2 rooms, pot, 1 room, pot, or 2 room, 1 room, pot, 1 room, pot, 1 room, pot, and then 2 rooms into the pot here. So that's main path and splits sort of covered. Now specifically with T room, it generates the same as any other pot room except for you can only enter it from the bottom, so you have to go from this room up into your T room. And that's true with every map. You have to go up into it, this room up, 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 and so on and so forth. But while going through this map, or this like website, if you so decide to use it, you'll notice sometimes there's a pink dot. If I can find one, yeah. So like there's that pink dot, which in terms of like generation, that's your tea room. But what this website like has is just like 4 pots, right, or less. Like this one only has 3 pots. So these don't actually happen anymore, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Like used to, like you would go into a halls, and if you were like quick to load in, you could see like a pink dot as you saw there, where it would just tell you where tea room was. But when they updated the most recent update, they sort of removed 3 splits, or like 3 pots or 4 pots or anything less than a 5 pot. It just no longer happens because of the fact that you just need like 3 pots to activate MBD, right? You like could get these 3 and this would activate, so you didn't have to go through like all of these rooms that I just highlighted. You could only just need to do that because some people would complain about clearing halls. And so Deca made it so you only have to get 3. But with that, they removed getting anything less than a 5 pot, like in terms of generation, because you always needed just to collect the 3. Except some people claim they've seen a 4 pot, but I have yet to see one, and no one has shown me proof of there being less than a 5 pot. But if you've seen one, you know, like from today on, send me an image and I'll like fucking delete the video or anything and just remake it. But it's like I just haven't seen it, so I'm saying that with confidence. Okay, so there's main path, plot splits, and tea room covered. And so now MBD, right? So whereas everything needed to be like main path, one room, and then thing, it actually just comes right at the end of main path. So here's your, oops, there's your main path, right, including this loop down here where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, including the full loop, and then MBD. And so there's always that. Now, MBD actually is the entrance to MBC, right, which would be right here, because you would go MBD and then through to MBC. So there's that. And so MBC is like the middle of this 3x3 area, or yeah, 3x3 area. And so when you're map reading to it, you have to consider the space that MBC will take up as well. And each of these 4 like sides would be MBD, like our potentials for MBD, right? So if you go here, it's here, right? It's on the bottom this time. If you go here in this 3x3 area, it's on the top, and in this one, it's on the bottom again. And here, it's actually on the left side this time. Here, it's on the top again, and so on and so forth, right? It'll always be in like the side. It'll never be in the corner. You can't go diagonally into MBC. It's just like straight like the sides. So there's that. So when you're map reading, you have to consider this like big area, and usually the map will just kind of tell you, like as you're clearing here, you should notice that the map will sort of like, in terms of rooms you have uncovered, it'll sort of make like this 90-degree angle to fit your MBC. Right here, it's just like, it's like you have that sort of thing where it's like, here's your 90-degree angle and then into the spaces. This is another wrong map, but this one sort of just in the open, right? You don't really have to worry about anything. It won't tell you anything. But here, right, it's like, here's this like huge wall, and the map itself is just trying to tell you, hey, there's something behind this wall that is not letting me put anything past it. Like there can't be a split there. Like there's not a split here for a reason. Whereas like, oh, that was a crazy map generation, but right, it's like, here's like walls, right? Just like this 90-degree, just telling you, hey, there's something behind me, just look, sort of thing. Here's this like 90-degree thing, right? And it's just like a lot. Well, this one's in the open again, so this can happen. That's a wrong map because it has the thing. But here's like another example where it's like, here's a big wall. There's something on the opposite side of it. You just have to look. I'm trying to find ones that, see, like walls, walls. It's like a cradle for it. So, oh, this one's a good one, right? There's just the map will tell you information, just listen to it and just adjust where your thinking is. Right? So this one, it's like walls and all that stuff. So think about that as like you progress through the maps, right? If there's like huge areas, just think about what the map is trying to tell you, including splits. Like let's say up here, right? So there's your main path in its entirety. It's like, okay, this is technically main path, so which one is going to MPT? It's like, okay, actually, wait, let me scrap that. Let me talk about this real first. So, I'll highlight off of here. Actually, this is not a good map to do it. Okay, so let me do this. Oh, this sucks. Okay, so rooms can only generate up to 4 rooms away from spawn, like in a coordinate sort of thing. So if I make a box like that, which this is, like, I say it's a bad one because this is sort of that, it can only spawn 4 rooms away. So let me actually have a picture of it. Okay, so, right, so look at this map, right? So here's your spawn, and it goes 4 rooms out, and then it caps off. Like there's nothing past this 4th room, and it goes 4 rooms, and it caps, and there's nothing past that. And then, these ones only go like 3, and this one is like technically 2, but you can't really see it. It'll make more sense later, but this is 2 for now. And so that's sort of just how that will go. Right, here's 4, and then it sort of caps off. That was, okay, 4, caps off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can't highlight up here, but it caps off, 1, 2, 3, and then I can't highlight down here, but it caps off after that 4th one, and then 1, 2, and then there's that. So nothing will generate like 5 rooms away. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, including up here, it goes 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing here, but it can't go past that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then nothing will go past that, including MBD, right? Or including MBC, right? This is the 3x3 area, but it fits within the 4 up, 4 left, like container that it has. So when you're looking for MBD and you have like some splits that are kind of close to walls that you're not sure if it'll, I'm trying to find a good, yeah, so here, right? So let me highlight main path. Okay, that was kind of weird. Wait, not weird. Okay, so there's like what you have beforehand, and it's like, okay, is my main path going to be this right or left? And this left is kind of forced to go up. So is my main path going to end there or end like here or there, right? So let me highlight where it could end. And so it's like, okay, so it could go right and up, but it could also go left and up, because then it's like, if I could highlight over here, right, it would be sort of this, including these 3 to the right of this 6, oh, that's a 3x3 area. But it can't go down because it'll clip into this sort of area. And those are all notable. However, you have to consider, okay, so this is already 4 rooms out, right? We're already like on like pretty much the edge. So this one can only go up or down. But if it goes up into MBD, then you're cutting into this sort of 5th forbidden row or column. So you have to like avoid that. And if it goes down, same thing, it'll clip into your main path already and kind of not even go there, because of that 5th row. So it has to go left and up into this sort of 3x3 area, including, as we said earlier, look, it's making an edge for you. That's crazy. So there's that. So consider this like area and how far away. Like this one's right on the edge, right? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms up, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Not well, not right at the edge, but it's on the this upper sort of like forbidden row um, to get to, right? So here's 4, or that's 5, right? It'll cut off here, and then here's your 3x3 area. So, you know, as you look through every map that you pick, it'll cut off at these points, making like sort of a box. This one's 3, and then it cuts off at 5, and then it goes out by 4, right? And then this is not the cutoff point, but this is included, right? So you can include all of this space, but just not this row down here. Let me get rid of this. So in terms of it, if you think about it as like an axis, right? So this is your axis. You have one row of random rooms before you can fit MBC, like MBC, MBT. You can fit that into here, right? So sort of no. Trying to find a good example. That's a bad map. Right. Okay. So here's like your axis, right? Axis, where this one actually goes up 4, left 3, and all that snaz. Let me highlight it. You have one row below this axis and one room, or one row to the left of, oops, to the left of this axis, and then you have this sort of MBC in here. Now obviously you can have it, you know, within this row, but it's like a good mental tip that it's like, oh, where is MBC gonna be, or MBD? It's like you can fit like MBC here comfortably, because it's just like nestled sort of between these columns. That's somewhere of a weird point, but it all like everything that I'm saying sort of just makes sense as like a whole. Because maps are just a whole. You can't like have a map that obeys one rule but not the other, sort of thing, because it all just is part of the same map, or yeah, same map. So there's that. Okay, if you see one or more than one exit from a room, you're on main path, right? So this, right? So let's say like these are your rooms. Used to it used to be the case where you could get loops off of the split, so there's no guarantee of where your main path was based on like at least off of spawn, or like, well, actually just anything, right? Because it used to be like, oh, you can have a loop here or a loop on main and then like a loop off splits, and then so if you were to look off of spawn in C2 rooms with splits, you would have to look for one opposite, because then it would be guaranteed because it wasn't like main. But then at the same time, if you like got a loop and then it just went here pot room, it was sort of just like, well, fuck, right? So you had to look for one that was a T split or just guess, which was not fun. But luckily, when they changed how Hall's map generated, it changed to only main path can have splits. So if you see these rooms and notice that one of them has a split, that means it's main. And any sort of interaction you have with the map, that is like this room, right? It has a split. You know you're on main. This room knows this is split. You know you're on main. And it's like, you know, like if you were looking at this room over here, it's like, okay, I can go up or left, and it's like, oh, this one has a split, even though it's in a loop. You know it's main because splits only, or loops, loops only happen on main path. So if you ever see a room with more than one exit, it's main path. So there's that. Trying to think of something else. Right. Oh, this is one where it kind of goes up by 4 and down by 4, right from your spawn. So this one, it can go like you can get some pretty hefty big maps because of that rule, but just know this is not unusual. The fact that you have this like huge tall row of just rooms, this is entirely possible because of the way the map generates. Um, and so there's that. Um, okay, let me highlight this main path real quick. Actually, that's just a right angle. Okay, so look, main path tends to want to go into more open area, right? So as we sort of make our way through here, right, it's like already, right, it's going like towards open area, where it's like, okay, yeah, here's more open area, and now I need to get back to MB, like MBD, right? So the first half, it wants to get to more open area or edges, and then the second half, right, this part, it'll sort of make its way back to where you think MBD is. And so if I were to revert it all the way back to spawn, right? Here's spawn, and I need to figure out where MBD is. And I know left goes down, and then down goes right. So right off the bat, actually here, let me use this. So right off the bat, and this is, I don't have like a trackpad or anything, so this is all drawn by mouse, so don't expect very clean lines. It's like off, it just, it hurts me too, don't worry. Off of this axis, it's like, okay, where do I have the most main room? And it's like, here's, like, I know this isn't like math, but, and I'm using the wrong quadrant, like this would be quadrant 1, but here's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Which two, like, 1 and 2 being up, 2 and 4 being right, 3 and 4 being down, 1 and 3 being left, which direction has the most room? And so it should either be between like these two, or like 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, which is up or left. And so it's like, great. It's like, so now I can factor out like 4 being main path. Like anything in this fourth quadrant, it can't be main. Like it shouldn't be main. Um, though if you include spawn, then it's like, okay, it sort of touches main, but it's like, this one's out of the question for main path. Now it's sort of just like, okay, so now I know that this left room goes down into something, or it can go left into something. I know it doesn't go up. So it's like, okay, now where has more like free open area? So 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 were our first two answers, but this already goes into 3 pretty early. So it's like your main path can go down into this third quadrant, but it's unlikely that anything continuing to stay in the third quadrant is going to be main. But if it goes left, or let me take a step back. So anything down here can potentially be main, but you know MBC isn't going to be down here because it's already going in really early. So if it goes in too early, then it sort of just takes up too much space, and you don't have room for either MBC or your splits, right? Because you need to fit in 6 splits, and then the MBD, right? So 7 in total, but 6 splits. So you know it has to be up here, right? And so if it already goes down into 3, then you know that the main path is probably going to be somewhere in 1 and 3 because you already have room in there. So MBC, you'll probably end up in the top half, leaning towards the second area. So if I get rid of all of that, right, and then show you the map, what happens is it goes left, down, left again into a loop, which you wouldn't know that in particular. And then go left, and then, or up, left, and then it sort of like exists in this first quadrant that I highlighted earlier, and then it ends up in the second one here. So there's that. And if I set this to a new map and not look at it, it's like, okay, I have this room, I have this room, and this room. And I think that off of this axis, actually let me keep the colors consistent. Off of this axis, right, it's definitely like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's probably not going to be a 3 here, right? Because not only is it the smallest, but it kind of like already has a lot of things going into it. Like the left and down, they both sort of already are in the third quadrant, so it's like, okay, whatever. And so the main question is then, from the right, is it this up or is it the down? And so this one's a bit tricky. So what I want like you to do is not think about like, oh, like let me count, like one, let's see, two, three, like don't do that. Like there's no reason to like micromanage it. Like get a big picture, right? So you know it's not down here, so it has to go right. And if it goes up, where do I think it's gonna go? It's like, okay, if it goes up, uh I need room for, let's see, I already have one, two, and then a third split, maybe a fourth one, which actually let me highlight that. Not highlight it. Let's just move there. Okay, so there's no like right off of it. So that's sort of that, right? So you have to consider it's like, okay, so I have that many room. It's probably going to be top half, like NBC is probably going to be in this top half here, just because even though there's a lot of room on this right half, it already has like splits coming off of it, and we know main path already has to be somewhere in this area. But since there's another split and these both splits sort of leak into there, it should be in this top half. So I think like it's not here. It has to get into this area and then go up here. So big rough picture, like three lines, like three straight lines. I think it'll go here and up and then left in some way. And so if I start sort of going through this map, right? So let's say it's up, right? It's like, okay, boom. We already have that. So if I think it'll fit this shape, okay. So now, like knowing this, right? My information has changed, right? Because now there's a loop taking up a lot of space. So now from this, let's flip it then. So now it's sort of like going up, right, and down, right? So now this is where I think it'll be because of information that I've newly gotten. So let's go up, right, and then just like keep going down, right? And so there's like sort of my like sort of train of thought, because I know it wasn't going to be down here, right? No way, it was down here. But it could either exist in this top half or this bottom half. But you know your main path has to exist in that space to also give you all of that room. So let me get this shit out of the way, right? Oh, isn't that much more clear? But let me show you this whole thing, right? So you have all of this splits and stuff, but what might be like, okay, weird is that it sort of can get like real crunchy, and that's fine. And sometimes you'll have ones where I'm trying to find one, right, where it's sort of just like this big open like main path, like it's got like wide arms, where you have like huge long stretches and everything like that. And this one, it goes like the sneaky thing. This one, it's sort of like is sort of crunchy again, where it's like sort of like condensed. Oops. Right, so there's that. But what this is sort of accomplishing and what your main path is sort of doing, it's trying to like find a way to fit these 9 rooms in, but also fit these splits in and each following room, right? So this map in particular, right? It's like going for the whole wide approach where you sort of have like a wide thing and then you have a lot of room to get around. But the issue is sometimes you don't have that sort of luxury. And this one, it has a loop. Actually, I'm just not going to focus on loop ones at the moment, right? So this one, it's sort of like really condensed, and it's staying more towards the middle, or like more towards the middle, but it's like shooting off like splits like towards the edge of the map. Whereas like, you know, it's staying towards the middle relatively, and then just like shooting stuff towards the edge of the map. And I've highlighted spawn here because rooms can come off of spawn. So it'll shoot towards the edge of the map. Whereas, if like the reason why you wouldn't expect like a thing to go like 4 rooms away. Here, let me right 4 rooms away and 4 rooms up. Why your main path wouldn't just go like 4 rooms out, 4 rooms up, and then just like it's like what is it 4 4 right? Like why it just like wouldn't do this because um your main path just sort of like needs to like stretch its legs, so to say. Like it needs to get like dump all of these splits off. Um, so if you limit it to like this thing, it's like where's all of its splits? It's like I can put one here, like put some off spawn. I could I could do that. Like it's too like compact. Like you're forcing your like because nothing can spawn over here, right? It's all the way on the right side. It's on the edge of the map. Nothing can spawn over here. It's like it could do this, but now you've sort of choked this main path to the point where there is no like there's no room like for MBD. There's just no room, right? So as you keep going, right, it'll keep being sort of condensed, but it'll make its way sort of around so that it can that sort of chuck splits where open area is. Which, as people say, it's like, okay, it's like, here's like, where's your like most room? It's like, oh yeah, here it is, right? But the thing is, the reason why we say that is not because, well, one of the reasons is we want you to know where NBC is, right? It's like, get a general feeling, but we also need to know where's your main path going to be. Because if you're just going into like the edges, right? It'll just sort of like you, as we talked about earlier, you can't fit your like splits off of it. So you have to like consider room as not only NBC but also where splits are going to go, right? Like like over here, right? It comes towards the edges, but by that point you have 4 5 like well, if you're going here, right, you have 4 splits already. So it's like, okay, now it's like now you can afford to get towards the edge, just because you only need to fit the 2 more splits in, and it's like, all right, there's sort of that. Um, so let's work through another one where I just sort of think about it and show you, I sort of like show you my thinking. All right, so let's draw this axis again. So it's like, okay, here's 1 2 3, and then here's your 4th quadrant. So where do I know it's not? Well, it's probably not over in 2, right? Because it's sort of already like is full. It's already really close to the edge, and it's already like there's already too much noise going on. Now is it okay? And in this case, it's probably not going to be down here, but I'm gonna like leave it there just to eliminate like keep it as like one step at a time. So it's like, okay, now let's sort of go up, right? That's like, okay, here's more information, right? So now I definitely know it isn't in 2 just because there's too much going on. There's too much. It'll choke my main path out too much. So there's that, right? And then so your main path is probably going to be somewhere on this left side, ending up probably around down in 3 because this split already cuts off this like 4th quadrant, so we can get rid of that. So let's see where that sort of information leads us. And just to keep it consistent, I think my main path is going to go like it'll follow this sort of shape, like this. Like it'll go left at some point, it'll go up at some point, but end up it'll have to go down into it. So let's work on that. Okay, so let's keep it with it, right? So I think it'll go up here, right? And then, I have to make my way down, right? So generally, right, my shape stayed the same, right? It has to go up, left, and down at some point, right? 3 straight lines. So right, it followed it, it went up and left, which, it went up, left, down, and it just added some detail in, right? And it goes left here, right? And then it goes down, and then it just adds some more detail, right? So something about getting the general picture and then being able to sort of add its detail as it goes in, where it's like, when you like draw, you shouldn't just draw like based off of like, if I were to, okay, I know this is this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, but right, it's like okay, let's draw a hand. It's like I can put a thumb in here, right, and then like here's like a finger, right. This is not a very good drawing of a hand. But what a lot of people do, right? It's like okay, let's sort of like okay, so here's my palm, right? Here's the thumb, and then here's like some more fingers, and then you sort of just add your detail off of it, and it isn't a good picture because I'm kind of using a mouse, but the way to go about it is just like that. Is so if I wanted to draw like a duck or something, it's like okay, here's its body, here's its head, and here's like its feet, right? It's like okay, so let me just add detail. Like here's that, here's its wing, right? And it's like you can get stupid with this, but a general way to do it is not to just jump in and just like try and draw a duck like with that fuck. This is not helping my point that I'm just sort of using a mouse and have to use like really simple shapes, but you have to sort of chunk your data into like bigger sort of groupings and then add the detail in later. um right, so let me use a different map that I didn't expose. Okay, so right, so here's your axis, right? And so here's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? So it's like okay, this line is horrible. Wait, let me erase that line. Okay. Oh my god, I can't do this. Okay. Right, so here's like your thing. It's like okay, so I know it's not going to be 4, right? Just because it's really like there's already too much going on. There's already down, and it's already cutting off. Like it's cutting off this sort of like this quadrant. Like anything in this way, it's probably not going to be in. That's your fourth quadrant. So get rid of it. It's pointless. Like no, shoot. Right? Okay, so now your most space happens in this sort of thing. And let me actually expose this first room to see if there's anything else. Okay, so there's that. Now what I think main path is going to do, right? I think it'll go into this sort of like 1 and 3 section, this left side of the map. I think it'll go there first, right? And then I think it'll go up, and I think it'll go right. And that's what I think main path is going to do. So I'm going to go right. Now I see this right again, and it's like, okay, there's not a split, but it still has like a chance to go up, right? Because even though this way, right, it's sort of like can cut off what is going here. I also need to consider what it's doing, right? Okay, so if it goes left, then it sort of has to make its way up. But do I have enough room to split or drop some stuff here? But at the same time, you realize that I have like one column to do everything on. And sometimes it won't be the case, but sometimes it can. And personally, I think this will end up being a pot room, but I could be wrong. Right? It's a pot room. Wonderful. So, keeping this sort of like shape in mind, it'll go up. Ooh, okay. So as I look for more information, right, okay, so this is a case where your information sort of has to update as you keep clearing, right? So now it's here, okay. It's like, okay, do I think it'll go up here? It's like, yeah, sure. If I, let me, it's okay, so let me go up, right? And it's like, okay, so I'm not seeing any splits here. So if I don't see any more splits, then my information has to change, right? So now, what do I think it'll do? It's like, okay, I have to sort of, like, here's my thing, but I have to sort of, like, go up and I have to go right. It's like, okay, from here, what do I think it can do? I'm really early in on main path. I'm 3 rooms in. So it'll have to go, like, right and dump some more splits off at some point. But it can't go up and around too far anymore, because this split already sort of disables me from doing that. So it has to go right more and then at some point go up and left, because I just need to have space for splits to drop. It's like, okay. And there's sort of like how it is. So, initially I was wrong, and that's fine. You have to keep updating your information as you go on. Where that last one, I sort of like tried to jump the gun, right? And tried to, like, it was like, try to force my sort of like wantingness of this map to be the way I wanted it, that I was like tunnel visioned in it. And you don't want to be tunnel visioned. You want the information to help you sort of make new decisions. Um, so, there's that. Okay, so here's this, right? And it's like, okay, now I'm not too sure where my main path is. Let me peek both splits, right? So it's like, okay, so these ones, they don't have any splits. I don't know where main path is because I don't know where things are, but I can make an educated guess, right? So is it on the right side or left side? It's like, I think a main path is going to be on the right side because it just has more room to work with. So I'm gonna, like, for now, say that this isn't it. And it's pretty even, so I don't know if it'll be top half or bottom half. But this is already going down. So I think main path will go is like from spawn. I think it'll do this sort of like shape. Like main path will fit into this sort of shape. And so that's what I think is going to happen. So let me go ahead and work through the map. Okay, I go down and it goes left, right? So now it's like, okay, it has a down and a left. I've already said to myself that this left shouldn't be it because it's in the left side. And I'm only the third room in, so it's like, great. So I'm gonna go down. So I go down, right, and I already think it's gonna go here, right? So I go right, and now it's like, okay, do I go right and up? I am 5 rooms in, and I need 4 more. But I know that it's up here somewhere, right? MBC is going to be up here, and I already have a lot of room on this right side to dump splits. So I think it'll go straight up, right? And now here, it's like, okay, here's 1, 2, 3. Now I have to go 2 more rooms. And at this point, or not 2 more rooms, 1 room. So at this point, it should just, or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, never mind. It only has to go this next room, which should just go up, right? So this is a case where even though I had 2 splits and I didn't know where it would go, I made educated guesses all the way up to MBC. Right, this is the general thing. Like, this was the general shape, right? This highlighted blue one, and this is the main path it went on. So it just sort of added some more details as you went in, and that's a-okay. Right, so let's go to this one. Right, oh, let's do that. Right, so here's your access again. Oh my god, I forgot that I showed it. It's just a habit. Here, let me get one with multiple splits off a spawn, or at least 2. Yeah, okay, here. So this one is a bit more difficult, just because of the fact that it's another case where there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4. It's another case of where it sort of goes into like in terms of volume, like these 2 spaces are identical, and it like makes one of the spaces super small. It's like, okay, so there's that. So we can already get rid of this third one, right? Main path won't go into this area too much. It can go, but it won't go too much. But you have to sort of get your main path into open area, which can either be this top side or left side, or top side or right side. And so it's like, okay, great. So off of spawn, let me peek these 2. It's like, okay, so this time we got lucky. We know left is main, so it'll probably not go too far into this lower section here. Oops, this lower section here. So we know it's not 3, and it probably isn't in this lower section. So it has to go left and exist in this top half at some point. So I think my main path is going to fit in a general shape of either this one, or I'll use a yellow here, or this one, right? So I'm using 3 lines, right, just to get a general shape. So let's see what it'll do. So let's say it'll be, I think, yeah, so I think it goes up, right? And I'm already in it, and the question is, does it go up and right, or does it go right and stuff? And it's like, okay, so both assumptions that I've already made sort of both indicate that it will go up and right at some point. So we've already hit right, so now we sort of need to start going right. And it's like, okay, now, here, let me get rid of everything on screen, or at least a few things. Right, so now, actually, let me just get rid of everything because of this one thing I want to talk about. So, forced directions, right? A lot of people say it's like, oh, you gotta go for the forced directions, it'll tell you where things are. But at the same time, I'm 4 rooms in, um, and I still have 5 rooms to work with, and I can go. If I start using this one, if it's like, okay, let's say it goes like this down here, and then it'll go right. Where's it gonna go? Does it go down and up, or does it go, right and up, and then or up, right, down? It's like all that stuff. You can say all that stuff, but it'll come down to more intuition based off of what you already know. So it's like, okay, I have 4 rooms to work with and 4 rooms out to work with, and so where's my main path going to be dumping things? And I think that it'll go up and right. And so, okay, so now I have a loop. Okay, blah blah blah. Either one can be made still, but I think that even though this down can cut off the right, I still have. Well, now I have 1, 2, 3. I'm 3 rooms in, so I have 6 rooms to work with. And I think that this top half is actually going to go past that split. So let me go ahead and do that. And so, look, I was wrong. It happens. So now we have to go here, and it's like, okay, where do I think my main path is going to go? This is actually a really difficult map. Because now this bottom it's getting cut off by down here, but also it sort of, oh, it should just, yeah, okay. So this is one where it's like, it's sort of crunchy, but I don't like it, but it's crunchy. It happens. So, there's that stuff, right? And then, let me not show it again. Right, so let me uncover these. Oh. Let me not that uncover. Let me uncover these. Okay, so this one, ooh, this one's fun. Okay, so this one's difficult because it gives you basically a mirrored sort of pattern, which is not fun, right? So let me draw that, right? Here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one's like super mirrored. So it's either like, 4, 4 out, 4 out, and it's like dead center, right? And it sort of does that. So I think my main path is going to go in like a mirrored sort of way up. Oh, why did it? Oh, it's because I'm using the same color. Whoopsie. Let me change the color. Right, so it'll go up, and then from here it'll either go right and down, or this way. Or, well, actually, yeah, general shape, right? And this includes the like ability to go in and then out like that, to add the detail. Oops, can't undo the undo in the thing that I'm using, right? So I think it'll do that. So let's pick a side, right? So heads or tails, it's a 50-50, doesn't matter. Let's go up, right? And I won the heads, or I won the 50-50. Now, I think if I go up, this right would cut off sort of like main path from doing that sort of thing, and I think this left, or this up from this left side here, cuts off main path from going around like this. So I'm going to take this right and go down. It's like, okay, let me get the shit out of here. Right, it's like, okay, so my general shape was that, right? That's how I wanted it to go. And so I already know that there's a ton of room over here, because there can't be splits off of splits, right? So this is already split, so it has to sort of end somewhere up here, but that's fine. So that means anything beyond this point is sort of fair game to go to. Oops, and that was an accident, but this sort of gave me more room. But I think that's a loop, yeah. Okay, so do I think it'll go, which part do I think it'll go? Okay, so if it goes right, it sort of rubs up against this edge of the map, right? It'll be 5 rooms out, and it'll run up against the edge, and that's way too much. It's way too tight, right? I still need to dump like a few more splits, right? Just like 2 more splits or so. So I think it'll end up down here, right? And let me go to there. It's like, okay, so I was right. Here's main path, and so I already said that everything beyond this point is fair game. So I think it'll just go left, and there you go. So in terms of, I missed out this step, right? So I thought main path would go like generally like up, right, and down. But as I sort of added some more details, it's like, okay, so it went up, or it went, let me get rid of this, right? It went right, up, right. Okay, it's like, okay, so it already went up, right, and then it's already starting to go down. But because I didn't spend too much time going up already, then it'll spend more time going down and then generally left. So it would change from this sort of up, right, down to this right, down, and left. And that's sort of just like, this up is now just extra detail, right? And this like extra down, just extra detail. So, you know, as you keep getting new information, you have to keep updating like your brain on where you think it'll go. So let's see that. Okay, so I'm not going to draw anything this time. I hope you've, you know, had enough of me drawing lines and can just follow along, but it can go down, right? And then it's like, okay, I think it'll go like right, up, and left at some point. Like this is the general shape, general shape that I think it'll do, right? It's like, okay, so now instead of going right, or right, up, and left, it's now going, it's forcing me to go up first. It's like, okay, so I think now my main path will sort of follow this shape. So I'm gonna go right here and see it goes down. So now I don't think I'm on main. So I'm gonna go up, which it was main. Son of a bitch, right? But anyways, right? Contextually, right? It'll follow this 4-axis. It sort of like has to, main path will exist on this right side, and then I think, you know, just like, oh, MBD will end up on this right side too, just because of all the space that'll happen, right? So, see, this is like another, like how I talked about earlier, I was tunnel visioning on trying it to fit this sort of path that I was not considering that it could go, like it could be this like 3x3 area. Actually, that's pretty funny that it ended up being there. So here, it's like, okay, so I don't think it'll be going down because then it doesn't really have too much room, so I'm going to go right, and here's my main path. And I already said that it wouldn't go down because now if it goes down, it'll have to run through this split that I've already said. So I'm going to go up, right, and then hit another split. And now that I have, like, I'm like 6 rooms in, I think it's just going to go left at some point. It can go down, left, left, or up, left, left, but I think it'll be down, left, left, because if I go up, it would be too close to the edge of the map, and then it would ruin the potential for it. Right, let me not expose it. Right, so here it's like, okay, so I'm already towards the edge, but I think it'll go right. Dump some more splits up, right, again. Yeah, see, okay, that's tunnel visioning. Right, so this is another case of where I was cutting in too early, right? I was cutting into the middle of the map too early, and so it had to be the up because I was just, it needed more space to dump these splits off. And there's another split top here. There could have been one left here, which I think there should be, right? Yeah. So here, I know this is main. So at this point, it's like, okay, where can I go for enough space to dump splits and maintain my room for up? So I think that it's a loop and it's full of bullshit. So I think we go up here, left, and then just see, cutting in a little bit too early there as well, but you know, it's like a detail, but at the same time, generally I had the idea, it's just I cut in a little bit too early. Right, so I think we go right, and now the question is, do I think it's the right and up, or do I think it's a down? And so if it goes up, I'm expecting it to go left at some point and go down, which it drops and splits off, and it should just be down here. Yes. So, oops. Right, so here's that. And it's like, okay, is it up or down? There's less room up, there's more room down. So I think I'm gonna go down and then go left and then down at some point, and then just make its way over to the top right of the map. And at this point, I'm a few rooms in. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so now I'm 9 rooms in. If it's a loop, it should go like towards the top right. But if it's not, then it should just be right here. So it is a loop. Right, so here's, okay, now here's where things get tricky, right? It's 4 rooms, or with what we said before, right? It'll go 4 rooms out, which it's already done. 4 rooms out or 4 rooms out. If it's directly to the right here, it cuts into the edge here, right? I no longer have the room for it to make its way into this 3x3 area because it's at the edge, right? It's 4 rooms and it's already at the edge, so it would cut off here, and that's the majority of it. So it should just go up into MPD, which it does. Right, so here's that. And so, okay, so the left side is kind of cut off already because of this, but if I go up, it has to keep going up and left and end up somewhere here, or go down, or right, down, and then somewhere. So let me peek both splits, right? And so the first one I said was the more true one. So now I sort of need to find a way to keep it in there. What did I think? Oh, so that's not a loop. Okay, so it goes up, and then I think it'll... Oh, okay. That is a loop, just the wrong way. Okay, so it should go this way then. Yeah, so generally, right, I thought it would go like in both assumptions, right, where I thought it would go right up and then like left, or up, right, and then down. They both were in this sort of, oops, they were both sort of in this right half here. And there was that. And this loops are always tricky just to experience them, because obviously I was like, oh, you know, it wasn't a loop, and it was, right? But sort of like, because of this loop, right, and like the way it sort of is, which, you know, I hate teaching off of loops, but you know, it is what it is. They both have to sort of be on the right side. So I made my way to the right side in this one because I wasn't aware this was loop. I hit this pot, and it's like, okay, now that I hit this pot, I know that this is sort of a loop, so let me just go back and take this right. And that's sort of that. It's like, okay. So I think it'll go up, right, because of the split. So left side's already pretty cut off because there's a left turn spawn, so it's like, it doesn't have too much room because it's already cut off. So let me go right, down. It's like, okay. So now what I thought the main path was going to do is going to go up, right, and then it's like make sort of this sort of way. But now that's no longer possible. So where do I think main path will go? I think it'll go right, then up, right, up, and then make its way over to the main area. So it hovers around this right area, and then because this bottom left area was already pretty cut off because of all the splits and everything, it had to have been like up here or down here. And the way that it sort of made its way, right, was like, okay, here's that. It's like, okay, so now I think main path is going to hover like around this right side, but take up more of the bottom side because of all the splits it needs, and then go to the top side. It's like, okay, so let's go up, right, and then make our way over to the very right side of the map, like that. So, you know, as I'm sort of going through, I'm making like smaller shapes within bigger shapes, sort of thing, where it's like, okay, like first, like 1 through 5, like this is the 5th room, right? Or this is the 5th room. It'll sort of go to the edge or open area, and then I have to start making my way back towards where I think MBD is. And if you what is it? Unlucky, right? If you're ever wondering of if and this is another case of where you're cutting it early. If you're ever wondering if you're making good progress and learning effectively, just sort of don't think and just sort of sprint through it. Because if you've taught this for thing, right? If you sort of teach yourself like fundamentals, you'll sort of like subconsciously be aware of like some of the things, right? And sometimes I'm cutting in too early, and that's perfectly fine, right? So now I just kind of didn't trust myself, right? So what is it? If you've like learned all of your like, if you do your homework, basically this should be subconscious. Whereas I was saying like, oh yeah, you know, it's intuition. But that's sort of like how you get your intuition, is just by like learning it. At that point, I went in too early, right? I cut in way too early for that to be main. So, and there's like, you know, now that I'm doing this right now, I think an issue I have is just cutting in too early. Um, because I haven't really worked on my map reading because I've just been playing other games or doing other things. Um, so, this will show, if you like just speedrun it, this will just show you like your issues that you have, right? So there, like, see, that's perfect, right? I cut in way too early, right? It's like, okay, now what am I going to do? It's like, okay, let's not cut in too early. That's a loop, right? And it's like, okay, so this is sort of just like, okay, like, I sort of solved my problem by like forcing my brain to just tell me what was wrong, right? And I was cutting in too early there. Um, it's like, okay, so it's like that time I was cutting in, not at all. Fuck. Okay. Oops. Right. So it's just sort of like, if you like essentially speedrun this, your brain should just tell you what's wrong, like where your problems are, and then you can go back and just like, okay, why did this map do this? Like, why did it like? Why do it's like, okay, let's go down. It's like, why did I do that? It's like, oh, maybe it's because in terms of like the quadrant thing, this has not a lot of room, right? It won't go up and right because it'll get cut off by these two already. So it's like yucky, right? So it's like, okay, so maybe that's my problem. It's like, okay, let me go here, right? It's like, okay, at that point, it's like, I wasn't getting enough slits, right? It's like, okay, great. And let's go down here, right? It's like, why is this a pot? It's like, oh, it's because this right sort of cuts it off from going up, right? So as you keep going on like that, if you go fast, it will tell you where your problems are, right? So the more you work on it, it'll just sort of tell you where your problems are. It's like, okay, if I go up here, it's like, oh, it's going up towards the edge, right? It's 4 rooms away. It's up going towards the edge, so it's choking out my main path. It doesn't go right. It doesn't. If it goes right, then it sort of gets cut off by these splits, right? So if you ever need proof of how far you've learned, just speedrun. Just go fast. As I said before, if you want the link to this website, it will be posted in the description. Right? So it's like, okay. And as far as that goes, map reading can be hard. If you fail, do not worry. This will sort of happen. What the? Shows you edges? That's crazy. I didn't know that. But, you can learn things and, okay, learn what usually is right, not what can be right. You learn what usually is right. And also because you can have some quirky maps, right, where it'll do some weird things, but more often than not, if you've learned what's natural, what happens usually, you'll usually be right. um with the small thing of like, oh, the map's being quirky, it's weird. So learn like what is right first before you learn the quirky stuff. And I don't know, if you have a map reading question, just fucking ask in the comment section. Find someone to correct it. You can have like a whole list of rules and stuff like that, and blah 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 blah. But look for what works, because that's all that matters.